Good morning. Thank you so much for being here at the Winton for the grand opening of the Winton and the National Hotels. My name is Jeff Kositsky. I'm the director of the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing. And it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, who needs no introduction. Mayor Lee has been a real champion around issues of homelessness and has done more for affordable housing during his terms as mayor than any mayor that I can remember. We're really proud to have him here today, and he'd like to share a few words with you, so please join me in introducing or welcoming Mayor Ed Lee. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Randy Shaw, for being here, the Tenderloin Housing Clinic. Welcome to the Tenderloin. Thank you, Captain, for being here. I get to say that with enthusiasm because I know Randy and so many residents of this district have always wanted to welcome people to the Tenderloin and to make sure that we can talk about not only the history of this community, but what we have in store for today, tomorrow, as part of the great city of San Francisco. And today we get to talk a little bit about people that we really care about in the city. We have always said that when it came to the challenge of homelessness, that we would break it down into segments of people and then focus on those segments of people. And the first segment that we've always, from the very first start, said that we would help would be our chronically homeless veterans. They deserve that priority. We've given it priority, and we continue this strong effort with residential hotels like today here at the Winton, where there's 104 units. And then we have the National Hotel, there's about 100 units, and then another 50 units at the Crown and the Mission Hotel. Combined, about 254. Most of the units are dedicated to helping end homelessness for the chronically homeless veterans. And this is an exciting announcement for me, certainly for those individuals that were not wanting to live on the sidewalks, under the freeways, on our streets, being subject and victimized to every element that there is on our streets. And when people are living on the streets, obviously, they're going to be taken advantage of. Well, we want to end that and certainly end it for our veterans who deserve the top priority. And we want to make sure that residential hotels like this get rehabilitated, get used, look at every single unit that is underutilized, and find economic ways to make sure we build them up. And I think the Tenderloin Housing Clinic has been a great partner on this. I want to, again, say thank you to Randy and the entire staff here, because they, along with Swords to Plowshares and others of our great partnerships, are helping us end homelessness for a very important group of people. I never want to see a veteran on the streets, and while that may happen for different reasons, at least to end chronic homelessness so that we can get them connected to services and to permanent supportive housing. That's what we do. We do that at 525 Kearny. We're going to do that at a brand new building in the Mission in the future. And by the end of this year, we will have gone to all of the chronically homeless veterans that we know of, the end of this year. I assert that with some great confidence because we're already working on identifying the last about 128 units that we need, but we also need, going forward, a very healthy look that will prevent homelessness for our veterans. So not just deal with those that are already homeless. Let's also commit, as a great city, to preventing homelessness. And that's Jeff's job, that's my job, that's everybody's job, but we now have a department that singly focuses on the prevention of homelessness. We're getting better and better at it. We used to just try to do as much as we can to respond and react, but now I think we've got a city that everybody's united in ending and preventing homelessness. That means job training, that means a good, solid foundation for mental health, physical health, disabilities. That means no discrimination on our veterans when they've got other barriers, when they're trying to get a job and working themselves out. We create a city that's passionate and welcome to everybody. So this is the announcement today. I think it's a great announcement. We're on our way to ending chronic homelessness for our veterans. Thank you.
Yeah, Randy Shaw here at the Tenderloin Housing Clinic, and you know, I want to thank everyone for coming and say, you know, when you see a beautiful building like this and you think homeless veterans are going to get a chance to move into really, the rooms themselves, go to see the individual rooms if you're in the media because they're beautiful, they have big windows, there's no building attached, so you can just, it's just a great place to live. So how does this happen? Well, obviously, I've been around since 1982 when we started homelessness, and we've had ebbs and flows, and right now we're in a very good place. Because we have a mayor, Ed Lee, who has devoted and made this a top priority, and that's key. And I think, you know, we should give the mayor an applause because the reality is this. I mean, the reality is this. Every time I've gone to the mayor and said, hey, we can lease a hotel, can we find the money? He says, we'll find the money, get the rooms. And not every mayor does that. But also, the mayor reinvented our homeless programs. He brought in first Sam Dodge, who Tenderloin Housing Clinic people know very well, a phenomenal experience from New York City, bringing in the best talent here to work with them on homelessness. Then he created a new department and headed with Just Kositsky, who has great credibility among all areas. So we're talking about, we have the best team in city government from the mayor on down that we've ever had to tackle homelessness. That's one part of it. But the second part, you have to have owners of buildings who want to be part of this. And Dept Patel, right there in the back, really has been the linchpin of, we should give Deepak some applause here. Deepak has been the linchpin of everything. I think we leased about several hotels from Deepak, the Heartland, the Baldwin, the Raymond, the Drake for the reentry programs. Without an owner willing to make their rooms available, even if you have money, you can't get the supply. Bill Decor is in here for the National, I guess. I thought Bill was going to be here, and we released one hotel from him. The National is a beautiful building on Market Street. But you need owners willing to devote their buildings. And that combination, then our staff, and I want to just honor Wendell Davis, our manager here, Wendell, who came here. You know, it's always hard to open a new hotel because, you know, there's people transitioning from navigation centers. They've been on the street. They're chronically homeless. So instead of hiring a new manager who wasn't used to it, we brought in veteran Wendell from the Elk and Bobby Webb, the maintenance manager from the Elk. So we brought in experienced people. The same thing at the, I don't know if Mwangi is here from the National, the manager. Often these managers get so busy they can't get time off even to see the mayor. Is he here? But assistant manager is here. We bring in talent from other hotels to take over the new hotels, and that makes all the difference. So this is fantastic. The Winton Hotel is a really special place, and hopefully we can keep doing more. So thank you, Mayor, thank you, Jeff, and all of you who've made this happen.
All right.
Thank you, Randy. As you all know, we're celebrating today the opening of the Winton and the National, and that brings the city up to 7,061 units of permanent supportive housing for formerly homeless. Yeah. We have more permanent supportive housing per capita than any other city in the United States, and I would guess in the world, and it's something that we should all be very proud of. I think we should also be proud of the men and women who have struggled to overcome homelessness and have moved into this new housing and an opportunity to move on with their lives now that they're indoors, and we're really lucky and honored to have residents of the Winton and the National join us here today to share some of their experiences moving into this site. Both of them had lived in the navigation centers temporarily and then moved from there into their respective apartments. So first of all, I'd like to introduce a gentleman who has served in our military, and we all owe him a great deal of thanks and gratitude for doing that. Was again at the Navigation Center and has now moved in to this building. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Brown to the stage.
Hi, my name is Joseph, and I've been homeless since 2012. You know, stayed on 5th and Bryant, and well, every other place I could find, you know, a room. But it's not easy. Then again, life's not easy. But I moved in here December the 30th. January the 1st, 2017, I woke up in my room upstairs, you know. And hey, it's great, you know. I like the place, I like the neighborhood, you know. I stayed in the Navigation Center, you know. And, hey, I'm blessed to the point that, hey, I still have my mental faculties, well, for what they're worth, but anyway, hey, you know, it's a thing that, hey, I was a street person, you know. I'm a hustler, you know. I'm from Chicago. This is my lifestyle, you know. And there's a difference between homeless and hopeless. You know, it's a big difference, you know. Do I look like I'm homeless? You know, but I'm not hopeless. See, that's the big difference right there, you know. Also, when I moved in here, hey, man, it was a thing that, hey, where are these things at? I never leave without them because, hey, your keys, is these here? They mean a lot. You know, like, hey, I can hang out with y'all, but when I get tired, I can stick my key in the door and tune y'all out, you know. You know, it don't seem like a lot, but it is, you know, because, hey, when you out there 24 and some more, if you look at the sidewalk is tore up. You know what's going to happen to you if you out there on the sidewalk, you know. And if you don't believe me, take that ass out there. Now, it's just that simple. You know, it's just that simple, you know. But now, hey, it's a thing that depends on you. Because you look out there now, you got homeless people. But this is their choice. Because if you interview every one of them, they get a check. Just like I get a check. I choose to be inside. They choose to still be outside, which don't make them bad people. This is their choice. You know. Excuse my language, see, what you eat ain't gonna make me shit. So I don't care if you don't eat, and it's nothing personal. That's right. It's just that simple. You know, you have a choice to make, you know, but your choice is up to you, you know. This is my choice, these keys. With that, I'll let you have it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and we're glad that you've got those keys and that you've made that choice, and we're really happy and honored to have you as part of this community, and also have an opportunity to introduce someone who's staying at the National. Ms. Swanson's relatively new tenant also stayed in the Navigation Center and is now also a member of our permanent supportive housing community. So please join me in welcoming her up to the stage.
Hi, my name is Amy. I've been on the streets for, oh gosh, a long time now. I lived in Golden Gate Park, in tents all around. You might have seen me on the street. Once you're out there, it's really hard to get back inside. It's not easy from your starting point when you're there. So I feel very, very blessed to have had the help in getting me to where I am now, which is at the National. I've been there about 2 weeks now, and it's really, really awesome. The location is ideal. You couldn't have a better spot, really. So I'd like to thank everybody that helped me get there, and I'm just happy as I can be. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, it's no coincidence that almost every other one of these openings, I'm here with Randy Shaw, and that's because his organization, Tenderloin Housing Clinic, is really one of the backbone providers of supportive housing in San Francisco. And I know Randy's already acknowledged staff, but if THC staff could again just raise their hands so we can give you a round of applause. Thank you all so much. And the city government also does quite a bit of work to make these properties come up online. I'm really honored to be joined by many of my colleagues from the new Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing. If you all could raise your hands. And also just want to add my thanks to Deepak. He also seems to be at every other one of the openings that I'm at. So we really appreciate all of you being here today and celebrating this important moment where we break the 7,000 mark in terms of the number of permanent supportive housing units that we have here in San Francisco, and we'll be happy to take any questions that you might have. Wow. Oh, there we go.
What if we have a fire in this building? What do we do with the back door? Are you going out on the back door? Okay, you can't go in there, so there's a dry gate right there, so you don't go in.
Yeah, I think your building manager can help answer that question for you about how to address that situation. He's standing right behind you there.
So, President, what we have proposed is that we have to cut a fence and put a doorway in the back, so that would lead us into the parking lot of Glide's parking lot. We're in the process now of talking with Glide, so we can make this happen that way. If anybody needs to escape the building, they feel comfortable that once they go out the back door, they're going to be able to get, there's going to be another fence built, like a doorway built in the fence, so that you can go out there and you can safely get out.
Thank you. And as you can see, that's, there's a lot of work that goes into getting these buildings up and running and keeping them running well, a lot of details, and we appreciate the fact you're already paying attention to this concern that the residents have brought up. Any other questions? The media have any questions they'd like to ask?
Yeah, I have one question, and I don't know how the program is funded, but the subsidies may be not showing up in the future if they do get cut off from different sources. How are you going to respond?
Yes, so this building is funded through the VA and through the general funds. The subsidies aren't necessarily attached to any individual, meaning that if you were to lose a benefit, it doesn't mean you're going to lose your housing. Sir.
I actually have a question for the mayor. Could you comment on Supervisor Landon Breed's bill on affordable housing coming up?
If you're referring to the inclusionary housing, or?
The bill that would reduce affordable housing or the requirement for affordable housing to 18% rather than 25%.
Okay, so that's inclusionary housing, and it's a bill that both she and Supervisor Safai are working on in collaboration with the other board members. Inclusionary housing, of course, for people that don't know this, it is the required number of below-market units that we require private developers to build. And it's not a lowering. We're trying to get to the economically feasible number so that you don't have property owners and developers walking away from development. And at the same time, you also have enough units to be able to help the city and help make sure that that project does contribute to the affordable housing question. So it's the recommended number that the controller, who is trying to study economic feasibility, is at 18%. That's what they recommend. So no one's trying to lower or take away anything. They're just trying to get to the number where we can continue building housing. If we demand too much, developers will not build, and we lose all the housing. If we demand too little, which I think we recognized in the past, then we're not building enough. So we're trying to get to the right number, the highest number that is feasible for the market to bear. While we're doing that, I'm still spending general fund money, housing trust money, affordable housing bond money to build as much 100% affordable housing units, and then working with hotel owners like Mr. Patel, who every time we have breakfast, we identify another residential hotel that we can use, and usually it's about who pays to repair the elevators. And I hope we got that money out there, Mr. Patel. All right.
Okay, one more question?
Good morning, folks. Good morning, Mr. Mayor. As you probably read in the newspaper, probably know yourself, there's been some measures right now that are saying that part of your new budget will not include some of the job readiness programs for African-American communities in the city. In fact, right now in City Hall, as we sit here, the Oversight Committee is holding a hearing regarding the loss of refunding out of your new 2017 budget. How do you personally feel about this, sir?
Well, first of all, it's a robust discussion, so we haven't made any decisions yet. I think there was some recommendations from the Office of Economic and Workforce Development about which agencies they would fund. Everybody's on this one united goal, and I just want to make sure everybody knows this. We are funding programs to get people job training and job placement. Everybody, and we absolutely are concerned about the African-American population. So we're just trying to, if somebody says they're defunding, it's not because we don't like their agency, we just want performance to be the ultimate goal, and performance has to be there. I don't care if it's a nonprofit run by African-Americans or not, they've got to produce, and so this is what we're trying to hold everybody accountable to. And yeah, there's gonna be some discussions about whether people performed or not, but if they are and they're willing to get to that goal, because that's a serious goal for London Breed and myself, I join her in that, then we'll make those funding decisions. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you all very much for being here today. Have a great day.